Hi guys, I want to show you how hybrid blind bid open auction fantasy football league works. This is by far my favorite fantasy football drafting format as it has an interesting mix of strategy, luck, and unpredictability in it. If poker and fantasy sports were to have a baby, this would definitely be it. Alright, first let's hit the high level basics. As a commissioner, you can use any provider website that you want to run the league, as long as that provider has a good keeper tool that allows you to put guys on a roster and then assign values prior to the auction portion of the draft. I'll talk more about this later. Now for a league like this, I think the sweet spot is somewhere between 10 and 14 teams. Next, you need to set your schedule. In a hybrid blind bid open auction league, you need to set a date for the open auction that ideally everyone can make. Now after you set the open auction date, the due date for the blind bid sheets should be a day or two prior to the open auction. More on this later. Alright, finally, you need to determine the budget that each team will have for their roster. For my league, we're going to use $200, as a lot of the fantasy sites use that as the standard budget that underlies their auction values that they list on their pre-draft rankings and the draft kits. Okay, so let's get to the meat now. In a hybrid blind bid open auction league, the draft takes place in two phases. The first is the blind bid phase, followed by the open auction phase. Both of these phases can be done in person, which is really fun, but I'm going to describe how you can do this online. You start with the bid sheet. Here's the one I'm using for my league. Everyone in the league will use this template to start from because the roster composition of every team in terms of number of players in each position will be identical. So for example, every team will carry 4 running backs, no more, no less. Now I created this template in Google Sheets and I put in some protections and formulas to remove the math and just basically make it easier for guys to use. Next we set a deadline, which is a day or two prior to the open auction draft. The deadline is a specific time that all owners are required to submit their bid sheets to the commissioner. Now each owner fills out their closed bid sheets by writing any eligible player that they want down and assigning a bid value to each. You have to spend at least $1 for each spot. And yes, that goes for kickers and defenses as well. So here's what a sample completed sheet might look like. Upon submission, the commissioner reviews each bid sheet to make sure that they are all legal. Things like making sure that at least $1 was spent on each position, that the owners didn't go over the budget, etc. Any issues that are identified are immediately addressed with the owner. Now in our league, we're going to have 2 commissioners, and these commissioners will submit their blind bid sheets to each other prior to the deadline of receiving the bid sheets from the other league members. We do this so that there's no suspicions of cheating or anything like that. Now after all the blind bid sheets are submitted, the bid sheets speak for themselves. However, the joy of finding out who you got and the agony of who you didn't, it's one of my favorite parts of this format. So in our league, we're going to have a Zoom call for those that are available an hour or so after the submission deadline. For those not able to make it, the commissioners will take those sheets and read through and monitor those sheets as well as their own as we go through and do the closed bid read off. Now on the call, we take turns reading through our bid sheets. We determine the order by basically just drawing randomly the teams out of a hat to see who gets to read their sheet first. Team 1. Now after an owner reads the player's name aloud and the bid that they have for that player, other owners check their sheet and then they speak up if their bid for that player is greater than or equal to the bid. Now if you have the highest bid for a player, then he's on your roster. If there is a tie between 2 or more teams, then a bid off for that player takes place at the start of the open auction phase, which I'll talk about later. Now examples are always better than explanations, so here's how reading through the bid sheets might look for this portion of the draft. All right, welcome to the big show again, fellas. And count yourselves lucky to be having a front row seat to yet another championship season for team number 1. All right, let's get started.
Not likely. Statistics say no.
All right, quarterbacks, here we go. Mitch Trubisky, $10. Game over, you guys are done now. Jacoby Brissett, $6. Nobody? Sweet. All right, how about 3 for 3? Dak Prescott. Wait for it. $24.
Overpayment of $4.
Oh, I got all my quarterbacks. You guys are so dead.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right, let's move on to running backs. The wrecking ball himself, Derrick Henry, $30. This league is so easy, you losers. All right, here we go. Probably going to get this one too. Ezekiel Elliott, the man, the myth, the legend, $15.
I got Zeke for 16.
Whatever, he's going to get injured anyway. All right, fine.
Not likely.
Tariq Cohen. This is a good sleeper.
Agreed.
$7.
15 for Cohen.
What? Fine. All right. Frank Gore, $4. All right. All right. Wide receivers. Here we go. The boys with the hands. Amari Cooper, $33. This is so easy.
Overpayment.
Tyler Lockett, $21. This is great. Okay, John Brown, $14. Good. All right. The Rookie of the Year and MVP to be CeeDee Lamb, $10.
I also have him for
I got
$10.
it for 14.
What?
I have
14.
him. Excuse me. I have him for $18.
Tie.
No. I have him for $18. CeeDee Lamb.
What?
Yes.
Oh, whatever. He's so overrated anyway. Good luck with
Statistically
that.
not. He will be great.
Jarvis Landry, $5. All right. All right, moving on to the tight ends, the real football players. Jack Doyle, $8.
Way overpaid.
Perfect. Old reliable Greg Olson, $5.
I got him for 15. Anybody has more, I'm going to kill him.
Whatever, he's probably going to retire anyway. All right, the kickers. Harrison Butker, $1.
I have Butker for $2.
You can have him, don't want him anyway. Matt Prater, $1.
Prater for $3. Good scoring option.
Another loser. All right, the defenses. The vaunted Jets defense, $4.
That's a reach. What a reach.
And the Jaguars defense, $2. All right. Well,
Wow.
boys,
A lot on defense.
that's most of your championship team. I'll sit back and listen now.
It's not what my statistics say.
Now notice that if a team is outbid on a player, or if they tied for the highest bid on a player, they move the money they bid on him to the open bid column. Now when the next team reads through their bid sheet, they don't read the players that have already been read. They just read those players' names that have not already been said. So after everyone has read through their closed bid sheets, the closed bid phase of the draft is over. And at this point, owners can take a look at their bid sheets to see how many of the guys they targeted they got, and how many spots they have left to fill in the open auction phase. Now some sheets may look pretty good at this point, while others, well, we'll just say they might be pretty disappointed. But that's how it goes. For teams that didn't get many players in the closed bid phase, the silver lining is that they will likely have a whole lot of money to wield at the open auction phase of the draft. So they'll have a good chance of getting the players that they want that are remaining at that point. All right, so now at this point, the commissioner then gets to work inputting the players that each team won along with the winning bid on the league website. Now after this is complete, each team will have a portion of their roster filled out, and the money they'll have available to spend in the open auction will be based on the money bid on all the players that they did not get in the blind bid phase. All right, with the blind bid phase completed, the open auction phase of the draft is up next. So we start this phase by auctioning the players for whom there was 2 or more teams who tied for the high bid. So only the players that tied for the high bid can compete for these players. And they do this via a bid off. All right, Juju Smith-Schuster, he's my favorite player, $1.
I like him as well. $2.
$4.
$5.
$8.
$10.
$17.
$20.
27.
$30.
35.
$38.
42.
$43.
How much money do you have?
Well, just a little bit more. I can only go to, what is it?
$80.
I was going to say I can only do 47, but here's yours for 80.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, slightly overpaid.
Once all the ties are taken care of, owners will take turns nominating players to be bid on. An important thing to remember here is that you can only bid on guys that you can roster. So some provider websites allow commissioners to lock this down pretty well, while others, you have to really kind of just watch it manually. The open auction draft goes on until all roster positions are filled on all the teams. The auction portion of the draft runs like a regular auction draft. The only difference is that everyone is starting with a portion of their roster already filled out. So as a result of that, this part of the draft actually goes pretty quickly. After all teams are filled, the league is ready for the season to begin with whatever scoring format you pick. Doesn't matter. So that, folks, is how a hybrid closed bid open auction football league works. I hope you enjoy it.